There is a place in Africa where you can spend $2,000 a night just to sleep in a tent. But this is not a normal tent, and the backyard is 1,000,000 acres of untouched wilderness that you own for the night. Most people think of a safari as a crowded jeep full of tourists fighting for a view of a tired lion. Botswana is the exact opposite of that because the government decided to keep things expensive and very private. They have a rule called high value and low volume, which means you will never see a crowd. You are going to see things here that most people only watch on a nature channel from their couch. But planning a trip like this is actually a huge challenge because there are no paved roads to the best spots. If you do not know which bush planes to book or which camps have the best guides, you might waste a fortune. I'm going to show you the 20 best things to do in Botswana that will make every cent worth it. First, you have to understand the aerial perspective of the Okavango Delta, which is a massive inland swamp. The best way to see it is by taking a private helicopter transfer between your luxury camps. You should ask the pilot to take the doors off the helicopter so you can feel the wind on your face. From 500 feet up, you can see hundreds of elephants moving through the water like tiny gray dots. You will see hippos making trails through the tall grass that look like little highways from the sky. Once you land, you need to try a mokoro excursion, which is a very old way of moving through the water. A mokoro is a long, thin canoe that a professional polar pushes along using a very long stick. It is completely silent, so you can hear the tiny reed frogs clicking like little marbles. You are sitting just inches above the waterline, which makes every lily pad look like a giant forest. If you want the best wildlife viewing in the whole country, you have to stay at Mambo Camp. This place is known as the place of plenty because the grass is so sweet that every animal wants to be there. The lions here are famous for being huge, and the leopards are so relaxed they might walk under your boardwalk. You will have a private guide who knows every single lion by name and knows exactly where they slept last night. After a long morning drive, you should experience a private island picnic in the middle of the delta. Your staff will set up a table with white linen and silver forks on a patch of dry land surrounded by water. You will eat gourmet salads and grilled meats while drinking cold wine in the middle of nowhere. There are no other humans for 50 miles, and the only music is the sound of the birds in the trees. For a bit more speed, you should take a motorboat safari into the deeper channels of the Panhandle. This is where the water is deep and dark, and the crocodiles like to sunbathe on the muddy banks. You can go fast enough to cover a lot of ground, but then turn the engine off to watch a hippo yawn. It is a great way to see the colorful birds, like the malachite kingfisher that looks like a flying blue jewel. After all that exploring, you will need a spa treatment on your private deck overlooking the floodplains. Imagine getting a full body massage while a herd of red lechwe antelopes runs past your room. The air smells like wild sage and dry grass, which is a scent you will never forget once you leave. Now let us talk about the land of the giants, which is Chobe National Park in the north. You should book a private cruise on the Chobe River right as the sun is starting to go down. This is the only place in the world where you can see hundreds of elephants swimming across a river at once. They use their trunks like snorkels, and the babies struggle to keep their heads above the water. It is a beautiful and chaotic sight that you can watch while sitting on a luxury boat with a cocktail. If you want to see the rough side of nature, you must head to the Savuti region. This area is famous for its powerful lions that have learned how to hunt massive elephants. Stay at a boutique lodge here, and you will hear the lions roaring right outside your window at night. It is a bit scary, but also the most exciting thing you will ever experience in your entire life. For those who love taking pictures, you should join a specialized photographic safari on the river. These boats have custom seats that swivel 360 degrees, so you never miss a shot. They also have professional camera mounts, so your heavy lenses do not make your arms tired. The guides are expert photographers who will tell you exactly how to set your camera for the best light. To avoid any other tourists, you should stay in the Chobe Forest Reserve, which is a private area. Only a few people are allowed here, so you can track animals off the road without seeing another jeep. It feels like you have stepped back in time to an Africa that existed 100 years ago. Then we have the Makgadikgadi Pans, which is a giant white salt flat that looks like the surface of the moon. You have to stay at Jack's camp because it looks like a movie set from the 1940s. There are Persian rugs on the floor and old brass telescopes for looking at the stars. It is one of the most iconic camps in the world because it is so strange and beautiful. One of the coolest things to do here is the morning meerkat encounter. These meerkats are wild, but they are used to humans, so they might use your head as a lookout tower. They are looking for hawks in the sky, and they think you are just a very tall and helpful rock. It is a very funny feeling to have a tiny furry animal standing on your shoulder while you drink coffee. If you feel like you need some speed, you can take a quad bike out onto the salt crust. You can drive as fast as you want because there is nothing to hit for miles and miles. It is completely flat and white, and it makes you feel like you are flying across a frozen ocean. When night falls, you should try sleeping in a starbed, which is a raised platform with no roof. The sky in the Kalahari is so clear that the Milky Way looks like a bright cloud above your head. You will see more stars than you ever thought possible, and the silence is so deep it rings in your ears. You can also go on a walk with the Sand Bushmen, who are the original people of this land. They will show you how to find water in a dry tuber or how to track a giraffe across the sand. It is a private and respectful look into a culture that has survived for thousands of years. Further west, you will find the Linyanti and Selinda concessions, which are even more exclusive. You can follow a private canoe trail along the Selinda spillway when the water is high enough. This water connects the delta to the Linyanti River, and it is full of wildlife that rarely sees people. It is a slow and peaceful way to travel that makes you feel connected to the earth. This area is also the best place to find the African painted dog, which is very rare and hard to spot. They are the best hunters in Africa, and watching them work together is like watching a professional sports team. Your luxury lodge will have expert trackers who spend all day looking for these elusive animals just for you. If you want to get really close to the animals, you should spend an afternoon in a luxury sunken hide. This is a container buried in the ground right next to a waterhole with big glass windows. You are sitting below the ground, so the elephants are walking just a few feet away from your face. You can hear them splashing and rumbling, and you can even see the cracks in their skin. At night, you can go on a night drive safari, which is not allowed in the national parks. But in these private areas, you can use a red light to find animals that only come out in the dark. You might see a leopard hunting, or a strange little animal called an aardwolf that eats termites. For a bit of history, you should take a private air charter to the Sodilo Hills. This is a World Heritage Site with over 4,000 ancient rock paintings on the cliffs. It is a spiritual place for the local people, and the energy there feels very old and powerful. You should also visit Deception Valley in the Central Kalahari, which is a vast and lonely place. It was made famous by a book called Cry of the Kalahari, about researchers living with lions. The valley looks like a green river of grass in the middle of a brown and dry desert. If you like birds, you have to go to the Nata Bird Sanctuary at the edge of the Suapan. During the right time of year, thousands of pink flamingos arrive to breed in the shallow water. It looks like a giant pink carpet moving across the horizon, and it is a dream for any photographer. One of the most special luxury experiences is a private chef dinner under a giant baobab tree. These trees can live for 2,000 years, and they look like they were planted upside down. Your chef will cook a 5-course meal over an open fire while you sit under the giant branches. You should also take time to meet with the people who are working to save the rhinos. Botswana has a very strict anti-poaching unit, and you can get a private briefing on how they protect them. It is a great way to see where your travel money is going and how it helps the animals. If you are feeling creative, you can even take a painting class in the middle of the bush. A local artist will bring canvas and paints to a scenic spot and help you capture the colors of the landscape. It is a much better souvenir than anything you could buy in a gift shop at the airport. The biggest challenge you will face is how to fit all of this into one single trip. You need to blend the water-based camps in the delta with the dryland camps in the desert. The best way to do this is to hire a luxury concierge who can coordinate all the private planes. You also need to remember that these small planes have very strict rules about luggage. You have to use soft-sided bags because the cargo pods on the planes are very small and tight. Do not bring heavy suitcases with wheels, or the pilot will tell you they cannot fit on the plane. Packing the right clothes is also important, because the mornings are freezing and the afternoons are hot. You want high-end safari wear in neutral colors like khaki or olive green, so you blend in. Do not wear bright white or bright red because the animals will see you from a mile away. Botswana is a place that changes your soul because it is so wild and yet so comfortable. You are paying for the luxury of space and the luxury of being alone with nature. It is an investment in a memory that will stay with you for the rest of your life. Check our video descriptions for the best deals in hotels and accommodation, flights, attractions and tours, travel eSIMs and insurance, transfers and airport services, trains and buses, car and bike rentals, cruises, package tours.